What's up guys, my name's Dante and thank you very much for watching another video. Today I wanted to build off of a topic that I was talking about before, and it is who to trust when we are looking to be more happy. Can we trust society? And that's the topic, because in our society we are seeing an increase in depression. You can go look at the statistics. But what's funny and what's strange about this, I guess it's absolutely not funny. What's strange about this is that even though we're seeing a rise in depression, we are continuing as a society to promote the same behaviors. And the point for today's video is that just because society tells us something is going to make us happy, doesn't necessarily means it's what's best for us. What you can notice is that society tells people to do what's best for society. And let me just take a little dive into that and talk about what I mean. In American society, what's best for the society is our economy. What's best for society is that people spend money, that people do things that support society. But is that really what's best for the individual? What we're seeing more and more clearly is that is not the truth. I was listening to a podcast and they were discussing this topic. And the interviewer was surprised when the person he was talking to said that actually what's best for us as individuals is to help other people. And he was confused and surprised. And you see, it's different from what American society tells us to do. American society tells us to spend money. Spend all the money we have and then go get a loan and spend money that we don't have. I was in my emails the other day, and my bank, who knows how much money I have, said that, hey, you may qualify for a $23,000 loan to buy a car. They know that I don't have $23,000, but they're encouraging me. Society is encouraging me to do something because it'll make me happy, because it appeals to some part of me that, whether I was born with it or whether it was nurtured by society, says that if we show that we have wealth, if we show other people that we have money, we will be more happy. Depression is increasing in America, and I think part of it, I'm not saying I have a solution to all of it, but I think part of it has to do with this idea that we are telling people they can be happy by doing things that aren't going to make them happy. Doing what's good for society, spending money, which is good for society, which is good for the economy, isn't necessarily what's good for us as individuals. And that is the essence of this channel, is to talk about those things that are good for us as individuals. When I talk about things like honesty and open-mindedness, these are things that are great for us as individuals. When I talk about helping other people selflessly, not expecting anything in return, these are the things that are good for us as individuals. And this is why you'll notice that if you go around and you're looking at the people who are truly happy, not the people whose Instagrams are filled with so much money and so much luxury, not the people who have the best jobs, but the people who are truly happy, they do certain things. Is it strange? It used to be strange to me. It used to seem like a coincidence to me, but not anymore. It's not strange at all, because I recognize these things to be truths. These things to be as real as it gets. If we are filling our lives with things that, and I hesitate to use the word fake, but for all purposes, it's a good word to use. All these things that are fake, it's synthetic happiness. Buying something so that I can feed into this idea that other people are seeing me as the way that I want to be seen, or that I want them to see me as, and not doing things that are authentically going to make me happy. Things that can never be taken away from me, and things that never depreciate in value. Like I said, I got the email from my bank. Okay, I buy the Subaru, it depreciates in value, and it's synthetic. It's going to be gone one day. It's going to be worse and worse as time goes on. Does honesty ever lose its value? No. It can never lose its value. In fact, it always appreciates. Honesty has a compound effect on itself, and after we practice it for a certain amount of time and create a habit in our lives, we continue to have these good relationships. It impacts itself in a way that buying things and filling our life with things does not. Now, let me be very clear. That does not mean that I don't go and buy things. That does not mean I don't spend money on nice things, but I don't let myself believe that buying these things is going to make me happy. I can be very sure that it might provide some luxury in my life, something that I can be grateful for, but by no means is it going to provide for me the authentic happiness that I'm looking for. What must I do to achieve authentic happiness? That's the question I ask myself when I'm looking to create a better life, and I'm looking to grow, and the answers are always the same. The answers are go into your fears and grow as a person. That's something that doesn't depreciate. That's something that always keeps its value and eventually appreciates. The principles that I've suggested, being able to admit when we're wrong, going into uncomfortability with no fear, right? Humility is what I'm talking about. Honesty. Why not fill our lives with things that are purely good? You cannot argue to me that a $23,000 Subaru is purely good. It is synthetic when in terms of happiness. Of course, it's a material thing, and it's not synthetic in that way, but it is, as far as happiness is concerned, it is synthetic. So where do we go from there? Do we completely denounce all material things? That's something that some people do. That's not what I do. You can certainly make a decision, but you guys know, if you've watched my videos, that I'm not trying to sit here and tell you what to do. I'm just laying the truth out there for you. That if we seek happiness and accumulating things in our lives, if that is the primary source of our happiness, we should expect to always be disappointed. Always regret what we've done. Oh, I wish I hadn't spent my money on that. I wish I hadn't have done that. Regretting the past, regretting things that we cannot change. It compounds on itself, right? One way or the other. Whether we make bad decisions, those bad decisions will bring more unhappiness with them. Whether we make good decisions and fill our life with things that are purely good, those things will also compound. They will appreciate in value. Right? I'm putting it in terms that we can all understand because we understand the concept of appreciation and depreciation. Yes, it's usually associated with material things, but it certainly can be associated with spiritual principles. If that word bothers you when I talk about spirituality, it doesn't have to conflict with anything that you already know about spirituality. And if you don't consider yourself a spiritual person, you can still see the value in something like honesty. Maybe I should call it something different. Maybe I should just say principles, right? However you want to look at it, there are things that are synthetic in our lives, and if we fill our lives with those things, we can and should expect our life to be filled with synthetic happiness. Synthetic, what does that mean? It's like not real. It's not anything that we can look back on and rely on. It's created, it's man-made. Something that is not man-made or created is truth, honesty, humility. These things can be relied on. As long as I'm living by these rules, I do not have to be worried about anything. I don't have to worry about what's around the corner. I don't have to worry about next week because I know my actions and attitude are based off of things that are purely good, and those are principles. Take what you want from these videos. Apply what you can from these videos, if you can, and leave the rest. This is really just about laying the information out there. After watching these videos, we can no longer say that we didn't know, that we were never told. And I get it because I've been there. I've been to the point where I believe what everybody's telling me. We look at depression that is associated with debt. Society encourages us to go into debt, whether it's for student loans, whether it's for nice cars, clothes, whatever, encourages us to go into debt. We know that money is associated with money and debt, or lack thereof money, is associated with depression. So why does society tell us to spend all the money we have plus the money we don't? We need to realize that what society is telling us is not what's best for us and our happiness, but it is what's best for society. So we have to make a decision. Who are we accountable towards? Are we accountable to society, Are we accountable to ourselves? And I promise if you practice principles, you will impact your society in a more positive way than you would be by just spending money. Money can't buy happiness. It's a cliche, right? We've heard it all before. Some people mock the idea. We don't want to be trapped by it. I promise if you open up your mind to this idea and you practice principles, you're guaranteed more happiness. Thank you very much for watching this video, and we'll see you next time.